door, the people in the bar, the people everywhere that are thinking about John Kuegeler. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a standing ovation for the great John Kuegeler. That also happens to be the title of this piece. We had dinner at Phnom Penh on Monday night, and then we drank Coffee Cafe coffee outside at the Market Avenue Wine Bar until they closed. John's eyes sparkled as he filled me in on his recent sabbatical to Arizona. And we talked about the arrangement he finished and the older musician he spent mentoring time with, and the college music program that he was investigating, and the composition and pedagogy books he read. The joy of playing out with some cats and how much he relished the peacefulness, just the plain old peacefulness of Port City in the desert. He was truly grateful for that creative workforce fellowship grant that allowed him the opportunity to get away, practice for hours and hours and hours each day, and revisit life as composer and arranger that was so often overshadowed by life as caterer and teacher. He loved that teaching. Man, he loved that teaching, and that boy was great at it. But even when he combined those teaching jobs with paid gigs, and my God, man, he played one time or another with practically everyone in town, and I think everyone in this room. I say that again. I said John played one time or another with practically everyone in town, and everyone in this room. But he said that, you know, it just wasn't enough to pay the rent, and told me he had definitely decided his catering days were numbered. And since some kind of non-musician work was in order, he was going to get a job as a waiter. Maybe he would have more opportunities to actually talk to people. And we sat there and bemoaned the fact that artists always need to have other jobs in order to make it. And we laughed when we concluded that at least musicians can get paying gigs at the clubs where all the servers are dancers and painters and the bartender or some grizzled poet from days gone by. Yeah. He also concluded during his Arizona stay that being an accomplished trumpet player, and it's important to note, drummer, percussionist, pianist, teacher, jazz historian, ethnomusicologist, band leader, arranger, and good friend, simply wasn't enough. Being a trumpet player just wasn't enough, and he really wanted more than anything to compose. Yeah. And he said he was ever more frequently returning to his classical roots, and he wanted to improve his facility on the piano. Like Miss Keys back here behind me, man, this girl can play. And to that end, our friend John announced casually that he'd selected a teacher and planned to take a series of lessons that were to begin the following day. This was last Monday, by the way. And when it became apparent that we were once again the only customers in the joint, we paid our check and left a fabulous tip. And then we spent the next half hour critiquing the new park across from the West Side Market. He really liked that hand-painted mural. Some artist on a scaffolding day after day just painting his or her heart out. He loved that shit. But he was outraged that they'd cut down big trees in order to plant little ones. Amen. The stage wasn't deep enough to accommodate a backline and drummer without putting the singer's mic stands on the pavement in front of the stage. And there was nothing but pavement throughout the whole fucking park. We stood together on that stage, that big concrete block, too short stage at the West Side Market, under the street lamps, in the middle of the night, laughing and gesturing and performing for the imaginary crowd. It was his last gig. Yeah. And I'm honored to have been there. We love you, John Kuegeler.